So what if everything you thought you knew about reality was just the default setting? Today, we're diving into something really strange and, honestly, pretty fascinating. It's this handwritten journal, and it claims to be a user's manual for a totally different version of our world.
And right off the bat, it hits you with this wild idea. It says, you know this reality we're in? It's not the final version. It's a bootleg, like a remix. And get this, in this game, you're not just some random spectator. Nope, you are player one.
Which leads to a pretty obvious question, right? If this is a game and we're the main character, then what's the objective? What are we actually supposed to be doing here? Well, this journal, it tries to lay it all out for us.
Yeah, this isn't just some random, chaotic scribbling. The author is actually positioning this journal as a guide, a manual for understanding not just the universe, but our specific role inside of it.
So the journal introduces this core concept it calls Bootleg Company. And okay, don't let the name fool you. This is not a business. It's a philosophy. It's described as a universalist, omniist approach, which is a fancy way of saying it's a belief system designed to include everyone and everything for all beings starting right here on our homeworld. And here's where it gets kind of weird. Despite these huge, grand ambitions, the text also calls itself an unintentional art project. This suggests it's not meant to be some rigid, strict doctrine, but something way more fluid and creative, a collection of prayers, a manifest of protocols, and a work of art all rolled into one.
Okay, so this whole philosophy builds into a really clear ethical framework. The journal outlines what it calls the sacred rights, and it is super emphatic on this point. These aren't luxuries you hope to get one day, they are fundamental birthrights.
So how do you claim these rights? Well, it's laid out as a three-step journey. Step 1, you got to realize your birthright to health, wealth, and happiness. Then you use that foundation to cultivate your higher self, your best, most enlightened version. And finally, you take that work and extend it outward to refine what it calls your community gardens. And you can think of that as your family, your neighborhood, really society as a whole.
This quote really gets to the heart of the whole philosophy. It argues that you can't achieve some higher consciousness or build a better world if you're just operating from a place of desperation and need. True clarity, true progress, it says, can only happen once our basic needs are met. This is the core problem it's trying to solve.
Okay, let's get back to you, player one. Now that we've established those rights as the foundation, the journal reframes our entire existence as a game that we need to consciously play. It's time to understand the rules and, more importantly, our role. Let's build out your character sheet, shall we? Starting with the world you're in. Remember, it's not the official release, it's a remix, a bootleg. That means it's malleable.
And your character class? You're the protagonist. You are player one, the one whose actions can actually change the outcome of the entire game. No pressure.
What's your moral alignment? It's bootleg. That means you're aligned with this whole philosophy of inclusivity, creativity, and improving the system from the inside.
And your primary weapon in this simulation? The main tool you use to overcome obstacles and win. It's stated so simply, love. Not just as a fuzzy feeling, but as a powerful, active force for change.
And all of this leads to the main quest. It's a three-part objective, and each part kind of builds on the last. First, heal Earth. Create that stable foundation we were just talking about. Then, from that place of stability, you hack freedom. You reclaim it. And finally, you use that freedom to help each other out.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because the journal doesn't just stay in the realm of philosophy. It actually proposes a technology to bring these ideas to life. It calls it augmented reality theological graphics.
And here, you can really see the two sides of this vision coming together. Over on the left, you've got the abstract philosophy, the why. And on the right, you've got a concrete proposal for a tool, the how. It's basically a plan to use technology to make these big spiritual concepts tangible and interactive.
And the whole purpose of this tool becomes crystal clear when you look at the features they want it to have. It's supposed to be engaging and gamified, right? To make spiritual exploration feel intuitive, like a game. But, and this is crucial, it's also meant to be harmless and totally neutral. It's not about pushing one single belief system. It's about being a universal tool for learning and enlightenment.
Which brings us right back to the central mystery of this journal. I mean, after exploring its philosophy, its game-like structure, and its tech vision, what are we actually looking at here? Is it a serious manifesto, a creative game concept, or a really personal piece of art?
It seems like we're left with two main ways to look at this thing.
Is it a blueprint, a universal plan for humanity's next big step? Or is it a map, the intricate, personal chart of one individual's inner world and their unique vision for a better reality?
And that is the question I really want to leave you with. Is this journal a blueprint that we're all supposed to build from? Or is it more of a map, one that's inviting us to explore, not just its world, but the potential to create our own? I guess the answer, in the end, is up to player one.